Hello everyone, back again with Story Recap. Before we get to storyline, I wish all happy and great day. Hey, today I'm going to recap the crime drama movie called Eden. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The movie starts with Hyun, who was kidnapped and put in the trunk of a car screaming for help. The kidnapper coldly stands in front of her and asks her to calm down. After she felt that there was no point in doing so, she calmed down. Then she noticed a tattoo on the kidnapper's hand. After that, the kidnapper closed the trunk of the car and moved the car. So what will happen later, and why did this kidnapper kidnap Hyun in the first place? We go back to July 1994, when Hyun was working with her mother in the store. After that, she goes to meet her friend Abby, who brought her a fake card. Hyun will use this card to enter nightclubs. Then, they agreed to go out together tonight. Then her father comes, who told her that he had heard their conversation, and asked her not to tell her mother about the forged card, because if she knew, she would prevent her from going out. Then he gave her a ring that he had wanted to give him on her graduation day, and asked her to take care of herself. Then he went to deliver the goods that he had. Then she went back to work with her mother, who treated her strictly. When Hyun told her mother that she wanted to go out with her friend and stay up late, she refused and asked her to come back at 10 in the evening. But after Hyun tried to convince her mother that she would go with Abby, her mother agreed. At night, she goes out with Abby. This was the first time Hyun entered a nightclub. She was very happy with this new experience. A handsome young man in a military uniform tried to get to know Hyun, but she told him that she was young. He told her that this was something very special. Then he left her and went to make a phone call. Then he returned to continue his conversation with her. When it got late and Hyun wanted to go home, she couldn't find Abby. So the young man offered to take her with him in the car to her house. On the way, he offered her to spend some time in the car, but she refused and told him that she could not delay any longer so as not to face problems with her mother. He agreed to take her home, but before that, he got out of the car to make a phone call. As he parked the car, a car appeared behind them. He went to the car. Hyun noticed that there were many fake badges and also several fake clothes for several jobs in the back seat of the car. She felt that something was wrong. She got out of the car and ran, but suddenly someone hit her and she lost consciousness. The next day, we see Marshal Bob driving the car and talking to his son on the phone. On the way, he notices that the sheriff is standing with someone and they are watching something. He goes to see what's going on. The sheriff tells him that Phil found a dead body in his own land and called him. Bob asked the sheriff to let him see the body. When Bob saw the body, he asked Phil if there was someone else living with him or if he told someone. But he assured him that he lived alone and that no one knew about it. Suddenly, Bob takes out his gun and kills the two. Hyun regains consciousness and finds herself in a truck with two other girls. Suddenly, the truck stops and a large man approaches Hyun. She loses consciousness again, and when she wakes up, she finds herself handcuffed to a bed. She noticed that she was in a room that looked like a surgical operating room. A woman who looks like a nurse approaches her. She does not give Hyun any chance to speak and sedates her and removes her braces. Then she treated the wound on her head and had the men present take her into the bathroom to clean her. After she regained consciousness, she discovered that she was in a place where there were many girls around her age wearing the same clothes. Marshal Bob comes with a box full of cats and asks them to choose each one of them a cat to raise. He asked a girl named Svetlana to take the cat first, and it seems that Svetlana is a special person. Then he warned them not to think of escaping, because whoever tries, her fate will be death, like their friend Maria, whom he killed when she tried to escape. They get scared, and each one of them takes a cat, except for Hyun, who was sleeping on the bed. Bob goes to her and tells her that he knows everything about her and tells her information about her. Vaughn takes her ring. Then he asks her to rest for a day or two in order to overcome the trauma. But after that, she has to start her new job. Then he tells her that her new name is Eden. He asks her not to tell anyone her real name. She understands from his words that the people who kidnapped her are a gang that traffickers girls. He warns her that if she tries to make trouble or run away, he will harm her family because he knows everything about them. After that, she prepares to work with the girls. Vaughn gives them dresses to wear and prepare for work. Then, he takes Hyun and another girl named Kyorli Kyo and brings them into a nightclub. A woman ties them up and beats them while Vaughn films them. After this ends, we see Hyun very frustrated and Kyo trying to calm her down. The next day, Vaughn took Hyun to a client, but she ran away. Vaughn managed to grab Hyun and bring her back. When she tries to ask people for help, Vaughn tells them that she is a criminal and that he is a cop doing his job. Hyun was sent back, and Vaughn decided to torture her so she wouldn't run away again. He put her in a tub full of ice and left her overnight. Hyun has been like this for a whole year and has no friend except Kyo. Then she noticed that her ring was on Svetlana's hand. Q tells her that Svetlana is the person whose orders are followed the most among the girls because she is over 18 years old, which means that she is now working with them. After that, Hyun goes with Vaughn to a nightclub. After finishing her work, she prepares to return, but before that, she broke the heel of her shoe and hid it with her. She was used to staying in this place, especially with her friend Kyo. But when she returned to her room, she did not find Kyo because she had gone out to work. Svetlana was the girl in Kyo's place. At night, when Hyun makes sure that Svetlana fell asleep, she attacks Svetlana with the heel of her shoe that she had previously hidden in order to take the ring from her. Vaughn intervenes and decides to punish Hyun by making her swallow the ring. She asks Vaughn to help him work on the calculations because she has become an adult and is 19 years old, but he refuses and tells her that he alone will make the decision. The next day at his party, Vaughn started thinking about Hyun's words, especially that he's not good at calculations, so he decided to give her a chance and have her help him. Suddenly, he noticed the girls running away from the place while he was busy, so he got in the car with Hyun to look for the girls. Hyun was able to reveal the girls' location and told him, and thus Hyun went from being a kidnapped person to a gang member. At night, she went to the bathroom and cleaned her ring and put it on. The next day, Vaughn got the girls ready to go to work, except for Hyun, as he took her with him to his house to clean it. After that, he took her to an office so she could start her work answering calls. When Svetlana saw her, felt angry because she would take her place, but Vaughn told her this was an order and fired her from the office. He also took the cat from her and gave it to Hyun. He taught her how to work and how to respond to customers. When she asked him about the price, he told her that their customers know the prices and that anyone who asks about the prices, she must inform him immediately. She also helped him transport girls and transport drugs. She became responsible for the accounts. We see Bob, the person responsible for the largest girl trafficking gang, who was giving a lecture on gangs and the harms of human trafficking. Then Officer Rove Greer arrives and tells Bob that he is investigating the murder of the sheriff and Phil that happened a year ago. As the GPS proved that Bob was present at the scene of the accident, and because of that, he came to ask him, but Bob denied it and left him. Hyun answers a call and records the customer's information. But when the customer asks her about the price, she suspects that someone might be watching them, so she tells him the price is $600 and hides it from Vaughn. The next day, she goes with Vaughn and Bob to dispose of the bodies of two girls. They were supposed to throw the bodies into the lake. In the boat, when they dump the bodies, Vaughn suddenly kills Bob. He asked Hyun to calm down because he had an order from the work leaders. Then they returned to the residence. The next day, Vaughn takes Hyun with him to visit two gangsters. There, she discovers a man with the same tattoo as the person who kidnapped her and put her in the trunk of a car. She found out it was the same person who kidnapped her. When she asked to enter the bathroom, she discovered that the place was equipped for childbirth. Then she finds a room and enters it. She finds her friend Kyo, who is pregnant. She told her that they were taking care of her and that the fetus was healthy. Hyun told her that they would try to hurt her, and she told her that she would try to save her, but Kyo refused, knowing that she was working with them. Afterwards, Vaughn called out Hyun to watch the news of Bob's death on TV. As the police discovered that Bob had a connection to the murder of the sheriff and Phil, Vaughn felt like something had happened to Hyun. On the way, he asked what she had seen at home. She told him that she saw the delivery room, which means that they trafficked children. He wanted to test her whether she would cheat on him or not. So he asked her to kill a girl who was with them in the car. When he saw that she was about to kill the girl, he took the gun from her and made sure of her loyalty to him. On the way, Vaughn got a call telling him that he had to move the girls somewhere else because someone was reporting them. They already moved the girls. Hyun helped them burn all the files and any evidence in the place. Then she goes home with Vaughn. He asked her to choose a passport with a photo that looked like her, and she asked him about their destination. He told her that they are going to Dubai. She takes advantage of his preoccupation and puts poison in his drug tube. Indeed, when he took drugs, he died. Then, she takes money and passports and also takes an anesthetic injection. Then she goes to the house where Kyo is. She offered the man to buy Q, but he refused and told her that the amount was small. He only allowed her to see Kyo for 5 minutes. While walking behind him, she injects the man with an anesthetic injection. Then she entered the room and found Kyo. She wanted to take her out of the place, but Kyo refused because she wanted to stay next to her child. Hyun told her that the gang sold her child and then took her and fled the place. Then she tried to call her mother. When her mother heard her daughter's voice, she cried in a moment full of feelings, sadness, and joy at the same time. This is how Hyun was able to save herself and her friend. Don't forget to support me with the like and subscribe buttons. Stay tuned for more film recaps.